Awakening the Third Eye. Chapter number 21. There is no real protection, but the power of truth. And the truth shall set you free. John 8:32. Power of truth. You may have mastered the most sophisticated techniques on energy. You may have spent half your life studying occult science. You may live in the company of great masters. If you are not after truth, your protection is nothing more than an illusion. Sooner or later, it will fall. There has been a striking example of this in the distant past of humankind, Atlantis. As I have depicted in the epic novel Atlantean Secrets, in the last third of Atlantis humanity had reached an extraordinary level of understanding of the different fields of consciousness and a tremendous capacity to influence laws of nature with mind power. A myriad of occult schools were full of initiates and experts in energy. It will probably take a few centuries from now before even one or two schools of esoteric sciences on Earth can reach the standard of their Atlantean counterparts. However, because the quest for power and manipulation superseded the quest for truth, Atlantis ended up being destroyed. And do not think that all these initiates were taken by surprise by the flood. Many could see the disaster coming. But there was nothing they could do, their science was completely powerless to avoid it. Their very knowledge was like fetters, preventing any escape. Everything was swallowed and disappeared in the mists of time. You would be very much misled if you believed that the same laws do not apply to you, here and now. For, you see, you may not be a passionate lover of truth, but your higher self is. Always. You may play games in your life, you may seek power for childish motivations, you may cover yourself with mud, your higher self will still be yearning for truth, and truth alone, in the background of yourself. It does not matter where you, as an individual, may choose to go, your higher self simply cannot move towards any other direction than truth, that is its imperishable nature. So if you are not after truth, your higher self will start working against you to allow a return to the direction it has forever chosen. We could call this self-sabotage. And it is supremely efficient. If you go astray from your truth and try to deny it, your own self will undermine any of your attempts, any of your constructions, and will start preparing your fall. Sometimes it takes a long time before the blessed hand shatters all your defenses. But all you had patiently built on a wrong basis will be destroyed, and you will have to start again in the nakedness of the spirit. I want to emphasize this point, especially after having covered so many techniques in this book. In a Taoist treatise of inner alchemy, the Book of the Golden Pill, it is said, for the right man, even the wrong technique will work. But for the wrong man, even the right technique won't work. Ultimately, there is no other real protection than the power of truth. If you are after truth, then truth will look after you. But if you come from the wrong space, you may apply all the techniques recorded in the archives of nature, your achievements will always be of a precarious nature. One day, when the predictions of the apocalypse come to fruition, titanic dark forces will rage on the planet and try to extinguish all hope of further development for human beings. It will be total war, but a war of a new form, one that is unsuspected at present. Then what will you do to protect yourself? Do you really believe that your techniques of protection will work? Whatever tricks and techniques you have, you may be sure that those of the dark forces will be infinitely more sophisticated. Truly, you won't have any other power left than the manifesting power of truth of your higher self. In a paradoxical way, that is how the devil is your best friend. For to overcome him, the only way will be to tap soul forces from the deepest of yourself and to release them on a cosmic level. You will have to stand in the absolute glory of the Spirit and to liberate forces of truth more than ever before in the history of humankind. Then the victory will be total and irreversible. That's if you've found yourself by then, of course. I am happy to have shared all these techniques of protection with you, but I do not want you to be fooled. Esoteric knowledge is like a double-edged sword. If you use it for anything else than finding the self and revealing its truth, it always turns and works against you in the end, whatever time it may take before the bell tolls. There has never been any exception to this rule. Seek yourself with all the sincerity you can, and you won't have to worry about protection. But if your motivation is of a different nature, then your spiritual journey will be a long succession of disillusions, however clever you may be at implementing techniques. You may think that the concept of truth is a bit vague and not directly applicable to your daily reality. Actually, before you can grasp truth with a capital T, you have to start with being true to yourself. That is something simple, which can start here and now. There are a few things you know you really should do, and that you are not doing, decisions to make, unavoidable transitions to go through. Maybe also, there are a few things that you know you should not do, and that you keep on doing, through weakness, but also often just by habit. Please understand clearly that I am not referring to any moral concepts. The problem has nothing to do with what is labeled good or bad, or with any other mental construction. It is not rare for spiritual seekers to have to do certain bad things, or let us say things that moral authorities would regard as bad, in order to follow their truth. Sincerity is of another nature. Deep inside, some things feel right, and some other things feel wrong. It is the knowingness of the spirit, and that is what you have to tune into. It does not scream inside like certain desires. You have to listen to it carefully. It is like an inner sense, the embryonic version of what will later become your capacity to know the truth. It is faint in the beginning, so you have to take care of it. The more you listen to it, meaning the more you put into action what you know to be right, the more the knowingness grows. The more you ignore it, the more it fades. And if you really don't know what is right or wrong, then tune in inside and ask for help. You will be surprised how swiftly truth can come to the rescue of those who seek truth without compromising. It does not matter if you make some mistakes while following your truth. What is a mistake, anyway? The white line that leads you straight to the divine is full of meanderings when seen through the eyes of a non-initiate. But to the vision of truth, certain detours and failures appear as the surest and most direct way to the goal. If you consistently follow your truth, your capacity to discern will grow like a banyan tree, and your sense of what is true or untrue will become more tangible than your perception of hot or cold. Even if the sense of truth is faint in the beginning, you should cherish and nurture it as the most precious quality that may ever be given to you. For ultimately, there is no real protection but the power of truth. This is the end of chapter 21 of Awakening the Third Eye by Samuel Sagan, MD. Break time equals 2000 milliseconds. Please listen to this recording minimum 3 times for better and long-term results. If you like this recording, please comment and share it with your friends and loved ones. Stay tuned for listening more books like this. Thank you and good luck.